Really?
Woo! We back. Hopefully with no technical difficulties.
How's it sound this time? Does it sound?
You sound great.
So see, it was you the whole time.
No,
trying
it
to put it
wasn't.
on me.
Get
Yes,
out
it
of
was.
here.
I'm gonna start
All right.
broadcasting on my end because I could have probably figured. Well, I don't know because I've been using local recordings too when I'm doing it, so I don't. It could just be, and maybe I don't know. I have no
All right.
idea.
Well, let's talk about broke single moms. All right. So we tried this once, but failed miserably because our technology is not doing what it's supposed to do. But maybe we can get some people to pop in here. All right. So I come across a video. Dude doesn't have any kids. All right. And he said, if he had kids, let's just watch it. Let's watch it. Oh, wrong button.
Look at it like this. If I had kids, I would tell you straight up, if you're struggling and you need money from me to take care of the kids when they with you, you might as well send them this way because I'm okay. So if you're struggling financially, trying to figure it out, send them to daddy. You know, I can make it happen over here with nothing from you.
All right. What's he missing, IKEA?
He ain't no daddy if he gonna make fun of his baby mom because she's broke, as he like to say it. If she has a job and she's making money, whether it's $7.25 or $29.95, she has a job. So people with a job cannot be considered broke because that's just disrespectful. And then I'm just. I should have probably said that earlier though. Like, because if she makes $7.25 an hour, she is not broke.
Yeah, right.
I probably should have said that.
He is missing it though.
Yeah, but then the other girl about the $1,000, I should have. Did she have nails on? Because you know what? Sometimes you don't get. I don't be just paying attention to like the aesthetics. But like if they have them nails on, trust me, the price of them have went up. If you go and get those nails, because the way they're doing them now, you're literally walking out of the salon like with $100 or more on just getting an acrylic set now. It's ridiculous.
She had nails.
Date a guy that don't have no money, but he treats you so good.
I'm not gonna date a guy just because he has money.
No, he has no money. Like everything's.
It's like dating a bum. Like I'm not gonna date a bum,
but he treats you well. But and then again, he make ends meet.
Why do?
But if you see a guy, he's mentally like there.
Wait, he broke, but he making ends meet.
Like, yeah, he has a 9 to 5, but he barely making. He make $1,000 a week. That's nothing.
$1,000 a week is a lot of money. That's $4,000 a month.
After taxes, is $800.
That's not
broke.
That's
not a broke.
That's broke.
That's broke.
Okay, that's not broke.
Couldn't really.
Can't even have her nails done.
Yeah, she didn't have her nails.
You gotta be like me. You have to keep it simple because this ain't $100. It's not.
What is it, Claire's or something like $10?
Claire's don't sell no nails. Do they sell nails in there? I don't go in there. I've tried to go in there before, and I don't understand how Claire's is in business because all that jewelry in there look like something that a 6-year-old will run around the house playing with. Like, you know, how the little Claire's to me, I just don't get that store. Not even for like prom night. Like there's nothing in there. Every time I'll go to I usually will like go in every store just because like first of all it's outlet. So like I'll just, you know, because I'm just like
Chad used to buy his earrings from Claire's.
I'm pretty sure he did. And he probably got them. He probably bought them out of the gas station because they sell earrings too.
Yeah.
$10.
He does not spend money on jewelry. And actually, you know what? I have started there's a debate in hip hop about whether or not you should wear fake jewelry when you're out and about, like, you know, because chains are like a symbol of achievement in hip hop. So like if you have like 6ix9ine, for example, like every time you see the guy, he's got probably $2 million worth of chains around his neck. And
Whoa, hold on. I didn't mean to cut you off, but like, really, we really like upped our followers that fast.
what?
We're at 950.
We started at 900.
We did?
Yeah, because it was a page that I made for an old podcast, and I changed the name to the X's.
Oh, I thought we started from the bottom. I was about to say we're doing good.
No, not that good.
No, but for
It
real.
used to be Let's Talk About It with JC.
Oh, well, look, you got me thinking we was over here smacking the pavement. I was about to say, dang, we doing good.
Hey, we can receive stars now on the X's page, though.
I know. They but see, like here's the thing. What's the let me click on it real quick because I want to see what is the most stars you can send. Why when I'm clicking on it, I can't send any stars? I'm clicking send stars and it's not giving me the ability.
Because you're an administrator, dummy.
Yeah, but I came on here from my personal page though.
It still recognizes your personal page as an admin of the page.
Well, when I click on it on my podcast page, it lets me pull it up. So I don't understand that.
Your podcast page is not an admin to that page.
Yes, it is. Because when I do something, it says you are operating as IKEA Lindsay.
I don't know.
What the world?
Why are you trying to give yourself money?
I wasn't. I was trying to see like what's the most I could send. Like what's the most can be sent on here.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, the thing
is, see if it'll let me do it on something that was already up here. I don't see the.
We need to for real think of some like premium content. Like I was saying, the 7 steps of or seven exercises to improve your emotional intelligence. We need to come up with some stuff like that people can.
Yeah, and then some fun stuff. Like I think we should correlate, but see, that will require for the people watching, they would have to be the ones to do the answers. And I think we should kind of figure out a way to put a game on here, something that we do on our own. And I know I'm trying to think of what platform it is that we can like, I don't know, but we have to give them some stuff. So we gotta get some merch.
You mean like do a separate video that's you and me playing a game?
No, I'm talking about while we live. I'm saying a game for our watchers that they can play, but we got to get merch and stuff so we can give them. You know, you gotta give them.
Oh yeah. Okay,
like you gotta give them an incentive. So since we can't give money away right now, we gotta give them something. Yeah, get on Wish and get a couple water bottles.
Or we could have like the X's t-shirts printed or something.
Yeah, that's the thing on these graphic tees that I was thinking about, which I probably shouldn't be putting this on the live, but like I don't know, I have some ideas in mind about those. But I know for sure I definitely want to get our avatars made.
What we should do is make t-shirts that have funny captions
that we've said on the show. Yeah.
Not just what we've said, but that trash your ex. Like that are funny and are about your ex, right? Like you see
or something that'll say, I got this shirt from my ex, that's all he ever gave me.
Something to the effect of like,
or all I have to remember of my ex is this t-shirt. That would be good. Dang, I need to stop giving away my gems online. But yeah, that right there. This is all I have to remember my ex's t-shirt or something. What I just say? You made me forget. Don't throw this away because I got to go back and get what I said. But some of that, and then I don't know, something like, well, no, we can do something. Like you need to get some of these. I'm gonna tell you guys something. These right here keep your ice in it all day long. Okay.
Here you go. Be the girl his ex-girlfriend will hate, his mom will love, and that he will never forget.
Are you stealing that off of Google? Because if so, we're stealing from someone else. We can't afford lawsuits.
Dear ex, I won't block you or delete you. I'm keeping you there. So
actually, no, I can put on there. I've been blocked and re-added so many times.
Here it is. This is a good one. Dear ex, I won't block you or delete you. I'm keeping you there so you're able to see how happy I am without you.
But isn't that on Google already?
No, these are quote lists people. You can't trademark
Right, but we
copyrighted
want to
quote.
be different. We ain't trying to get what they already got. We gotta give them what they don't
This
have.
is not on a t-shirt.
Yeah, but it still exists. We need to give them something that ain't already out there. That's what makes us different and stand out because they already don't have nothing like this platform. So we can't have a
Thanks for
different
the
platform.
experience. Our time has expired. Now exit my life.
Or we can get
Come
t-shirts
on, that's a t-shirt.
that says what I've been told you. You can't get rid of me. That's a real statement. I told you that. I've been blocked several times, people. Several times I've been blocked, and I've never went and re-added as a friend. When I'm unfriended, I just be like this. 1 week,
Oh, God.
2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4, 5 weeks.
You
6
keep it
weeks.
up and you're going to get blocked again tonight.
It don't matter because I'm an admin, so I go and block my damn self. No, but I'm saying, like, seriously, that's a real story. True story.
It is a true story.
I don't even think you blocked me. I think you just unfriended me. I've never been blocked.
I think you keep me at a friendly distance on purpose.
No, it's like I looked at it and I'm like, okay, again, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5, 3 months. I'm going in my notifications. JC Shively sent you a friend request. Yeah. And I said it because remember, and you want to know what's funny about it too? Because remember, we was having that conversation and literally, okay, and I was telling you, I was like, okay, because it's strictly business. So this is like the thing. And I had it, I don't know if I told you, I was like, okay, so I don't think I told you, but I was like, I'm keeping in the back. If I get unfriended again, when you go and send, I have a waiting list on my Facebook because I still have the same page since 2009.
You could put me on a waiting list.
I have a waiting list. There's people who've been in line for like 8 years. No, but I'm talking about on here though, because it's something about being added to someone's Facebook. It makes them feel superior when they've gotten in. So there's people who literally, like, there's some people who cancel their friend request to turn around and send me another one. Like, you sent me that friend request 2 years ago. I didn't respond. You were on the way. Because if I hit deny, you'll just send me another one.
This is why you ain't got no followers. Because you don't accept no friend request.
Yes, I do. I've got 550 friends on there. And that to me is too many. I feel like I need to downsize.
You know what I did? People don't realize this because they think I'm like this uber freaking just popular guy that everybody wants to follow, but it's not true. Like when I become a real estate agent and got into sales, I come across some material that was like how to grow your sales network.
Mm-hmm.
And the advice was to go to your current Facebook friends, look for mutual friends, and friend request people that are mutuals of your mutuals, and just send out a crap ton of Facebook requests. And basically it's a numbers game, right? Like a lot of people are like you, where they will not accept your friend request. They get offended that you even send it to them. I had people, now mind you, all I was trying to do was grow my sales network. I was trying to grow the network of people that would see my real estate content. Was not trying to be a creep or anything, just trying to get more exposure. And I had people that not only denied my friend request, but sent me messages angry, mad at me because I sent them. They wanted to know why I sent them a friend request. And of course, my response was always like, look, I'm a new real estate agent. I'm just trying to grow my network. If I offended you, I'm sorry. You can always not accept the request. And believe it or not, when I would respond that way to some people, it was like a light bulb went off to them. They're like, holy smack, I need to do the same thing. They would ask me what I would just, because I wouldn't tell them it was real estate, I would just say sales. Say, I'm in sales. I'm trying to expand my network, so on and so forth.
So you ask people to follow you?
No, you send them friend requests.
How do you send friend requests from them type of pages? You follow them?
No, I'm talking about my personal page.
Oh, okay.
My personal page, I got 5,800, which, mind you, Facebook did convert those to followers. Like now, your friends are counted as followers. So anyways, I just went through a numbers game where every day I would send out 20 friend requests. 20 friend requests, 20 friend requests. And like half of them would get angry and reject it. And like the other half would accept them. And eventually I ended up with a whole crap ton of people to show my content to. The thing is, I've had to actually go back through my friends list
and
delete a bunch of people that aren't active or have duplicative accounts. That's like a plague. Some people cannot keep the same Facebook account. It's like it's like they got 10 of them.
Evan has probably 80 pages on Facebook.
So what I would do to trim the number down, because it doesn't make sense. It might look good to have 4,000 Facebook friends, but if 2,500 of them are dead accounts, your content is not really reaching people, right? So it doesn't make sense. You only want active people. Why would you want that slot taken up by somebody that's not active? So what I would do when I would come across somebody like Tevin is I would delete all of their Facebook pages. I would unfriend them all and then friend request them all. And then they would only accept from the one that's active. So even though I wouldn't be able to discern which one's active and which one's not by just unfriending them all and then resending their friend request, and I would figure out which one was their active one. But as time goes on, right, these people are notorious. So that I'm sure if I go back through my account, there's a lot of duplicative and dead accounts in there. But
so did you see that post I had put up there? This lady had posted, she said, a homeless man gave me a Valentine's Day balloon this morning. Apparently, he's been saving the change I give him when I pass on mornings. Yes, I cried. So somebody going to respond to her and say, decisions like this is why he's in that situation. I'm like, oh my gosh, you had to remind them. Like, so $3 was going to get him off the streets. $3. The balloon was not like it was $1,200. He gave her a Valentine's Day balloon. And instead of you saying, oh, that was so nice, like, you know, like God was pouring back into you as you was pouring into that man, and he was showing his appreciation for your kindness, you want to say decisions like this is why you're in that situation. Like, dude, I was like, man, people can't make it no more. But it was funny though. I had to repost it because I was like, yeah. But no, I really think we need to find like a game. And what is that?
Here's your favorite. Let's check this out.
No, I already know who it is because I saw her already. She was practically glowing.
And I encourage women to stand up for what they want.
And that sounds nice, but do you have it?
Yeah, but
And
you might not have it.
Yeah, but then
you're always going to be. So I do believe
Mute your
that
mic.
if you have a mindset you're going to get something, you can get it.
Mute your mic so to stop echoing. Yeah, mute your mic.
What you said again, like people are so delusional. Like you've got to keep it realistic.
But I feel like it all depends on how you view life. Like you said, you're spiritual. You view life in a certain way. You like to live a certain way.
No, it's dependent on outcomes.
Yes.
So what do you get?
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
So okay, if you want a traditional outcome, like I'd first ask, are you a traditional woman? And what outcome will you get? What outcome have you gotten in the past? If you've never gotten that outcome in the past, why would you get it in the future by just raising your standards?
No, because I feel like where you are now doesn't mean this is where you're always going to be.
Yeah,
I realize I know that your mindset matters. So whatever if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to get it done. I don't care what she says. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it.
Right, but this is okay. So if I'm applying for a CEO job and they say, okay, what CEOs have you worked for before?
But did you know
they say
Recordings.
If your mind is set on doing something, it doesn't matter if you're modern or traditional. Like we gotta kill that. Why I can't hear you?
Yeah, you can hear me.
I was like,
Just got better.
Yeah, but but that's why I said those type of places are setups. Do you realize those are them type of shows? You're going to be set up every single time. It doesn't matter what you go on there saying, you're going to get set up every time.
Yeah.
This is the stuff that I be telling women, stop watching stuff like that because you're getting baited into those conversations. Like even the Fresh Fit and Feminine, whatever that stupid
Yeah.
thing is.
Right.
All he does is bait his questions for those women just so he can try to attack their ideologies, literally. And that's why I'm like, I would never go on shows like that because I'm already seeing the game. So
I would.
Me getting on there is just going to ruin that episode because I'm not going to sit up and take nothing that you're dishing out because I already know what it is. So it would just be a waste of time.
Let's see where it goes. Let's just see where it goes. Let's see where the conversation goes.
Mute up.
All right.
says, if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it.
Right, but this is okay. So if I'm applying for a CEO job and they say, okay, what CEOs have you worked for before?
But did you know
they say, I've worked minimum wage at McDonald's, but I really want the CEO.
But you know,
job. We can talk about that. We want it, but it doesn't mean you're going to get it.
But there's been probably situations where that's happened by chance and by going for it.
And people win the lottery and it happens. But I'm not going to go and give general advice and say, oh, that's going to happen for most people.
But the
perfect example is Tyler Perry.
It's not going to happen for most people. But you just got to want it. That's what I believe. I don't believe that. Or totally agree with what you're saying, but I do believe that once you have the mindset and you desire something, I said I'm not in the 20%. Doesn't mean that I'm not going to be one day. Maybe I want to be, and maybe I will be. That's all my mindset and what I choose to do.
You can't be in the 20% with a kid.
Who says that?
It's men.
Why can't I be in the 20%?
And I'm sorry, it's not.
No, sorry.
I agree.
I'm a mom.
Yeah,
I'm a mom. Can I finish talking?
Go on.
And nobody can limit me. No one can limit me.
Yes.
There's no.
All right. So, yeah, she's saying she can't be in the top 20% of suitors, female suitors, due to the fact that she's a mom.
How many people have you seen started from the bottom, had a child, and ended up being successful in reality? Like today, they're rich.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm talking about. It's like if you want to literally amount to nothing, keep tuning into those types of shows and internalize what they're telling you. Like you're not. It's at this particular point. It's like I want to start a YouTube channel that says, "Someone please go white girl."
Yeah, and in the way that she's approaching this, I don't like I agree, it's a setup because she is setting in her mind. She's setting a set of rules of what the top 20% of female suitors are to men. And she's using what she feels like is solid data to back that up. But the reality is that age group is a thing. Like what age group are you talking about here? Because, to young men, having a child is probably eliminate you from a large amount of the dating pool. But when you start getting into your 30s, like everybody has kids. And so if you're trying to be in the top 20% of suitors in your 30s, kids absolutely do not eliminate you from that top 20%. And really what it becomes about then is, personality, compatibility, income, like those things, not kids. So I don't like how Pearly.
It's always a setup. That's what I'm saying. And that's why if you internalize this verbiage, you're literally going to become stagnant.
Yeah.
Well, and that's just what it is. Like you have to see more for yourself. Stop letting other people determine your future.
Yeah.
Based off of how they're projecting onto you. Like if you feel like you ain't gonna be nothing, then you don't feel like it. But that's why they say stay away from small-minded people, because small-minded people don't have dreams and they just want to shut everything you're doing down because they don't believe in themselves enough to try to do something. So how dare you try to get a step ahead or several steps ahead of me? Like I don't want to be the only one, the nothing person, and when I'm like 60 never did anything. Meanwhile, like you're able to afford long-term care because you decided to defy the odds. Like that's the whole point in life, is to get up and defy the odds.
Yeah.
People are going to tell you something. Like literally people tell you it takes several years or longer to get a million subscribers. I'm here to tell you there will be 1 million in a year on this platform.
Let's do it.
Like, and I'm just saying, if you got to go with that, you have to already claim what you want and start acting like you have it.
And then have somebody come along and be like Pearly, and just be like, well, that doesn't fit the mold. That doesn't fit the rule. Right. And what kind of frustrates me about that particular video is this girl's talking about being in a top 20%. She may not even be talking about being in the top 20% of what men desire from women. She may be talking about, I'm going to be in the top 20% of income, right? Like I'm going to succeed and excel in my life to a point where I am desirable for other reasons outside of what men generally think of as desirable. And again, as you get older, I feel like as you get older, like you start to realize like relationships are just about value.
That's what I'm literally going to start putting up.
I don't know who Red Pill is.
Red Pill is the community. She's like the manosphere. So yeah, Red Pill, please wipe up Pearl.
Yeah. Well, the interesting thing is I think she is single, right?
She is. That's the thing about it. So if you know what men want so much that you're up there trying to tell other women what men want as a woman, where is your husband and your 3 kids already and your apron so you can be like making buttermilk biscuits every day and fried potatoes? Like, why are you not doing that already, sis?
Yeah.
That'd be the question, because that's the only thing I would have for her. If everything that every person who has ambition that is modern, right? And they see more than just having a ring and some kids. They see way more because they know what the situation back then was.
It is kind of a setup now that I think about it, because and I was telling you the other night, like what these influencers do, what some of these influencers do is they will touch on a truth. They will say something that has a lot of truth in it. And that will kind of that'll reel you in. Like Pearly, for me, she reeled me in with a statement that she had about, I think, submissiveness. And men being leaders and women needing to submit to the leadership of men. And so in my mind, I'm like, yeah, okay, she knows what she's talking about. There's some truth to that. So she kind of reeled me in. But then as time has went on, she began saying things that I disagreed with, that I felt like was just pandering to men. Right. And as time has went on, the more and more I see her content, the more and more I realize that that's exactly what it is. It's just pandering to men. So there's a little bit of truth in there, right? A little bit of truth sprinkled into a whole lot of pandering. And where she really lost me was with cheating. She was trying to rationalize and justify men cheating on women, right? By asking or posing the question to women, what did you do to cause him to cheat? And it's like, at that point, you've lost me, because now you're trying to say it's okay for men to go out and cheat on women because why? Because they gained some weight, because they stopped caring about themselves because of X, Y, and Z. Something that a lot of women find themselves doing when they get comfortably in a marriage, right? Like weight gain for women in the 30s and 40s it's inevitable, right? Like, you have to be incredibly dedicated to fitness in order not to gain weight as a woman in your 30s and 40s. And when you're raising kids and you're living a comfortable lifestyle, and you know, comfort and busyness aren't the same thing. You can be busy and be comfortable. And so if you have a lot of kids and you're doing a lot of running around and your day is filled with doing laundry and dishes and making sure everybody's okay and this, that, and the other and the third, the last thing you have time for is the gym, right?
Do you remember Kendra Wilkinson? You remember her?
Oh yeah, the Playboy
Hank
Bunny.
Basket's ex-wife, because they're divorced now.
Wasn't she a Playboy Bunny?
Yeah, until
Yeah.
she met Hank and they got married when she was 22 or
She
23
was
and she
always
was
right.
pregnant.
She was
You want to know what I liked about her though is the fact that even though like she created a lifestyle for herself, like through the Playboy Mansion, then she chose motherhood and the husband life and all that stuff. But like even when they would move because they were moving a lot because of his career was kind of shaky. But what I liked about her is she didn't get caught up in like the lifestyle of being like there was no maid in her house. But what I remember is because recently like I was watching like old episodes of Kendra and I remember when she first had Hank Jr. and it was probably like post baby, I want to say maybe like 2 months and 3 months or something like that. And it was her weight. Like she was like, I want to get my weight. Like I lost my body from having this kid. And what I appreciated about Hank, he never allowed her to dwell in she didn't look good anymore. Like she was sitting there feeling sorry for herself, saying like, I don't feel sexy. I don't feel attractive. I feel like you're going to see someone in public and you're going to wish that was your wife because of how my body looks. And like, he literally told her like, you had a baby. And as long as you look good to me, it doesn't matter what the world thinks.
Right.
Like he literally was, because watching it back, it's been so long. And when I was watching, I was like, man, like he literally would build that girl up, like with her self-esteem. And then, of course, that whole scandal situation that happened.
Well, I think that when you come to appreciate someone for who they are,
Mm-hmm.
you begin to care less about how they look. And it's not as if it doesn't sort of still play into, your attraction to one another and stuff. I'm sure it does. But there is
OnlyFans.
But there is a point that I feel like you reach with people where you begin to care about them so much that what they look like really becomes, like attraction in the beginning is very important. But I do think that people reach stages in their relationship and their development as a couple where it becomes less important to them. And, the women that Pearl are talking about, letting themselves go, gaining a bunch of weight. Oh, by the way, did you know those men in those relationships are doing the same daggone thing? They're gaining weight. They're gaining dad bods. They're gaining guts, right? And if that's how those two people want to live in their marriage, in their serenity together, who the hell are you to come along and be like, women are gaining weight and that's causing men now to step outside of their marriage? Well, maybe that happens in some cases, but I would suggest to you in the vast majority of successful marriages, and there's the key word, successful marriages, men aren't stepping out on their women for gaining weight. They're not. And so how can you blame an unsuccessful marriage on something that happens in successful marriages?
That's because it goes back to the pandering. The conversation being had about women is that, oh, they don't want a woman that's not going to go to the gym. They don't want a woman that's non-submissive, that's combative. It's all those, it's the same conversations and they're having the same, it's the same topic, same conversation, different set of people. That's the issue there. And that's why I'm telling people like these conversations are played out. You guys are all saying the same thing. You all need to be on the same channel with each other in the room because you're not bringing nothing different to the table. And then even with her platform, how she's going to keep it going is she can't go up there and tell the truth because she done reeled in those men with those false ideologies of what a woman and a wife is.
Now she's stuck. Yeah.
So she boxed herself in. So she has to. And so now to keep the viewers, she's got to give you the shock value.
And that goes into the arguments that I was having with people on TikTok about our content.
Mm-hmm.
And that I have gotten it both ways. I had a guy on the ex's on the ex's TikTok page basically accused me of pandering to women, and I responded with a clip that we had where I went on a whole spew about the value of men in relationships, the value of men to children, and what outcomes children have when there aren't men in their lives. Right. And so that was like proof positive that this is not me pandering to women. And then more recently, I had a girl accuse me of being a thirst trap. You know, and the funny thing about it is, like, if you go look at my TikTok now, the vast majority of the videos that are on there are of this show.
Mm-hmm.
There's some other ones, you know, occasionally I'll throw a dance video on there. Like I'm on my way to work, I'm in a happy mood, so I'm going to dance, whatever. But probably 8 out of 10 of the videos of the content that I create now, it's commentary. It's opinion. It's stuff about my mind. It's not, it's what I think. It's not how I look. And I do that on purpose, right? And even when I do dance and stuff, I have fun. I purposely am not provocative. And I purposely pick songs that are fun and not.
I was going to stitch that video, by the way.
You should have.
The one where you said you wasn't thirst trapping. I was going to stitch it and say, you know what, ma'am, you're absolutely right. This is thirst trap guy. Yeah. I was going to be funny, but I was like, nah, let me not do it, because then I was going to kind of. But nah, I was just going to do it just to see if she was going to respond, because I was like, it'll be funny, because I wasn't going to tell you I was going to do it, but I was going to tag you.
You know, the thing is like, it's funny because the argument that we were having, it was about statistics that did not look good on women. It was me going on a rant about how women had stopped being mothers.
Mm-hmm.
And if my aim as a creator was to be biased and to be a thirst trap and to attract women to this platform in order to gain their support in some sort of pandering way where I'm preaching the woman point of view as a man, then I am not going to go out of my way to look up statistics that look bad on women and do a whole spew on it. Right. So it just didn't even make sense. Like, it didn't even make sense. And I'm like, even politically, when I talk about politics, I'm an independent and I fall issue by issue. Sometimes I fall on the left, sometimes I fall on the right. And everybody, in my opinions, everybody always wants to box me in to something that I'm not, because I'm a critical thinker and they're not. Right?
Well,
they're not critical thinkers. People that are critical thinkers realize that nobody's right all the time, that one political party cannot be right 100% of the time. Same with genders. When we talk about relationships, it's impossible for women to be right 100% of the time. Men are going to be right sometimes. And the same in the reverse, right? Men are not going to be right all the time. Sometimes men are going to be wrong. And so being a critical thinker, I always look at things topic by topic, issue by issue, and my analysis and evaluation of what I think is right and wrong is exclusive to that particular topic and or conversation. I don't allow pandering or, you know, political philosophy or anything of that kind to really infiltrate the way I think. I just don't.
Yeah, because that's what this is. It's kind of like this. If you don't agree with someone's video, right? The only thing, if nothing you said was wrong, and they literally let you know that you were absolutely correct based on their response, because the response has nothing to do with what you said. They literally go like at your looks or something, and it's so annoying because it's like,
yeah.
This has nothing to do with that. Like, if I'm talking about turkey, you shouldn't be talking about ham.
Right. And that's what the thirst trap comment was. That's exactly what it was. It was me addressing somebody, accusing me of misinterpreting the lyrics or not the lyrics, but misinterpreting the stats and misleading people with them and so on and so forth. And so I'm trying to have this debate where I'm like, look, I did not mislead anybody. I did not misinterpret the stats. And here comes this girl coming along, right, saying I'm trying to be a thirst trap. What does that have anything to do with anything here in this argument? Nothing.
She doesn't know the definition of that. Like most people, like I was telling you the other day, people do not read the dictionary, and they don't even, if you don't want to read the dictionary, you can Google the definition. They don't want to do that because it's too much work. So they just want to believe someone they like, and they have to be telling the truth because they like them. That is what you call a biased thought process. You only are agreeing because you like this person. And I'll tell you what was funny, okay? Because like Rihanna had came under heat a little bit on the internet right after Super Bowl because she had tweeted that her son was fine. And so someone like repeated what she said, and they was like, fine. And she was like, fine as, right? And so like Milagro was saying, like, that's something that you don't call a child. That's something we use to like talk about someone we like, someone we want to sleep with. And there was literally people in her chat disagreeing, talking about, no, there's nothing wrong. And she was like, but see, this is the problem. When it's a woman, it's okay. But let this have been a man, and the internet
How old
would
is
have
this
been in
kid?
a frenzy. Huh?
How old is the kid?
What kid?
Did she call-
Rihanna's kid? He's like not even one yet.
She called her own son fine?
Yeah. And I guess it's an island thing, but you're in America, sweetie. We don't do that over here.
Yeah.
And people were like saying there was nothing wrong with it. And that's why she said, see, you guys pick and choose what to have a problem with.
Cultural differences can be tricky.
But it was, if a man would have said his daughter is fine as hell.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The internet would have said, someone called.
They did. They did. Donald Trump said something about Ivanka, and they destroyed him for it.
He said he would date his daughter if
exactly. Right. They destroyed him for it. So did you see the internet blow up over the Post Malone thing?
Him drinking beer out of a shoe?
No, he was given a performance, and he got overly emotional in the performance. I got it queued up. Let's watch it. Okay.
You was my shorty, I thought.
I asked.
Okay, so that didn't really show the complete depth of where he went.
What did he grab himself or something?
So he's being really jerky in his motions, and he ends up on the floor, I think. So let me see.
Oh, okay. So he kind of folds himself up a little bit.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that was it. I'm telling you, that man ain't been right since that. What do you call it? A die box that he played with at that museum. He ain't been the same since.
Yeah. So here's the footage.
That's the same stage he was on when he drank the beer out of a fan's shoe, and that was so disgusting. I was just like, you're doing too much.
There it is. Here we go. Ready? So is there God. Okay.
That looks like drugs to me. I'm sorry. That's
Yeah,
drugs.
I mean, that's what a lot of people are saying right now.
It's
Is like,
drugs. Like what? That just. I mean, he was literally like thinking was you was gonna get up on your on with your mouth to the mic and hold your body up. Like that was drugs.
and
Dude.
he was like, the earlier short that we looked at. He's very like rigid in his motions and his arms, and like, it's just awkward. Like, I mean, I can understand wanting to give your fan base like what they paid for and like really, perform good for everybody. And he sounded great. Like the audio that come of it was really good. Like it wasn't like it was a terrible sounding performance, but dude, just awkward.
Yeah, I think he's on drugs. But like I said, he messed with that box. And that box is like literally it's a haunted box. I'm telling you, he ain't been right since.
The thing is, I like Post Malone. A lot of people
Yeah, he has a very heavy fan base.
and
I
it's
can
got a
tell
lot
you
of
that.
this. I mean, like he's somebody that I can put on in my car with my
Mhm.
kids, right? Like I can do Post Malone and not feel like I'm putting things in my children's ears that they shouldn't hear. His whole approach to music is unlike anything we've ever seen before, right? He comes into the whole scene as a rap artist, and what he's evolved into is like, I don't know what he is anymore. He's pop, he's rock, he's like
I
MG.
would consider him a pop artist. Yeah,
You
he's
would?
definitely pop. Yeah, he's pop.
But it's like they don't even he doesn't even like engage hip hop anymore, which is
Yeah.
it's frustrating to me because it's like, dude,
Because sometimes that's the route you take and then you step out of there. Look at Pink. When Pink dropped her first ever album, which was a bomb album, by the way, and so was Misunderstood, but that was the only thing you got that touched on hip hop, and she stepped completely away from it. Look
don't
at Miley
understand.
Cyrus. Miley Cyrus is the same thing. She jumped into the whole quote unquote hip hop thing. And I mean, she had the number one selling album in the world at the time when she dropped Bangers. That album was number one all over the world, right? Like she might as well say outdid Taylor Swift. And now, do you think she's gonna come back wearing the chicken outfits and stuff she was doing on? No. It's sometimes they do that to give them that elevation they need, and once they get it, they walk. They don't. It serves them no purpose to stay, so they go. They got their fan base. That's what a lot of artists do. It's kind of like
do you think
hip hop and crossing over.
Let me ask you if you think they get pushed out, or if are they fully embraced by hip hop, or do they feel like they are fans of it, creators of it, and then once they emerge as a star of it, they get pushed out of it? Or do you think that their heart was always in another place to begin
It was
with?
always somewhere else, and then you have to look at it too. Like hip hop is not the number one selling genre of music. It's not.
Yeah.
It's good
That's true.
music,
I
and
never
it's what
thought
you're
of
gonna
that.
hear in the
Yeah.
clubs. But when
But
you
if you're
think
trying to
about it,
make money,
it's pop. It's gonna be pop. But that's why you've seen like
Interesting.
Lil Wayne tried to cross over and he was unsuccessful. It didn't work. A lot of the hip hop artists try to get that one pop hit. Like Lotto is trying to do it right now with this lottery song that's going to flip flop because it's trash. She's trying to get on that pop wave and use her likeness to do it, because once you're able to cross over, you've reached success. Like Drake has been able to successfully do that.
Yeah, you're right. You're
And
right.
he'll come back. And so like a Nicki Minaj can do the same thing. Like she's doing a carnival. She just dropped a well, it's getting ready to drop. She just did a carnival song, right? Because it's carnival time. So she literally can hop and pop and go back to hip hop. And yeah, people like to run their mouth, but everybody can't do that. Look at Nelly. He tried with Tim McGraw, and where he still had to go back. Like everybody can't do it. So it's definitely, once you can get that crossover, you get that the fandom grows. But see, here's the thing, Post Malone, his fans kind of art was gonna stay anyway. He related to his demographic. He knew what his demographic was, and he got him.
Yeah.
Kind of like what 6
Interesting.
9 So
Well, I know that there's been a lot of like talk about some white rappers using hip hop to catapult themselves into being fame and then abandoning it. And I just like Eminem is somebody that he's a crossover artist because he can work with people like Rihanna and but generally speaking, when you think Eminem, you think hip hop. Right. But what he has been able to do, and 50 says this way more eloquently than I ever could, but he's been able to bridge into white America. Eminem has acted as the bridge into white America so that other people behind him, including black artists, could make that crossover successfully. Had not been for somebody like Eminem selling 90 million records, right, in hip hop, then there wouldn't be that bridge for people behind him to sort of to cross over.
But you see, they haven't had an artist come in and be able to do what he did.
Let me ask you this. Do you think that somebody, maybe after the Eminem beef, whatever, do you think somebody at a music company sat down with Machine Gun Kelly and looked at him and just said, look, dude, if you go a different direction, you will be a bigger star? And they outlined to him exactly what you just said there. Like, look, if you stop trying to feed a demographic that rejects you and start embracing a demographic that accepts you, you'll be a bigger star and make more money? Or do you think that he just come to that conclusion on his own?
I mean, he probably had a meeting and they probably said, you're not making us no money, so we're not putting no more money behind you because you still owe us money. That's the thing. The labels don't really care what you do. Is one thing I understand about them. The amount of, if they see that you're going to get the push. Like, for instance, Cardi B is prime example. Atlantic pushed so much money behind Cardi B. She dropped that album in, 2018? It's now 2023. Atlantic is not talking about Cardi B no more. So I think she is on pins and needles because I think what's going to happen is they're forcing her to drop this sophomore album. And if the numbers do like all her singles do and everything flops off the chart, this girl I think she got pregnant again on purpose so she wouldn't have to do it, because you can tell like she don't want to do it. And then she's tweeting, it's nerve-wracking because I'm afraid of what people's going to think. And that's why we know this ain't your passion, honey, because you had all this time and then you went and got pregnant again.
What's that one song?
Bodak Yellow.
Yep, it's that one song. That's the only. And the reality, I think with that is like,
she won't get the numbers like Bodak Yellow.
She'll never. No. That's, I mean, if you look at that as far as the freaking streams that has, it's up there with some of the highest streaming songs ever.
But you want to know why? Because the DJs were having streaming parties for the song. So it wasn't organic. They literally they even dropped the price on the song to get people to buy it so that she could look like she was naturally doing it. And they called her, they've been called her out for it. And that's why, because you went and inflated your numbers to now, like even money didn't do good, Up didn't do good. Everything she's dropping is not staying on, it falls down the charts. And it doesn't do anything. She hasn't been on a tour. Atlantic is looking at, we done put so much money behind you. We ain't even got our return yet. So I think they're waiting to say, look, you're going to drop your sophomore this year. And they're going to watch how she does on the sales.
That WAP went.
They're going to say
WAP went pretty viral.
It did, but it still didn't give her what she needed. And then you still don't have an album because WAP, they was pushing it. That's why she should have took advantage of it and dropped the album. But she didn't do it. And she got a Grammy behind it. But again,
she's not really that great of an artist. Like,
she's not. Do you know how many takes they have to do in the studio with her
and the thing is, like,
the girl started.
Kodak had an interview where they were talking to him about his highest performing best songs.
Mm-hmm.
And he basically said that the what do they call that? The license or the royalty that he gets from them sampling to do that song it pays his bills. It's that big of a streaming song. It's that, and she's even said that in concerts before she does the song. She's like, this song pays my bills, right? So in the grand scheme of it, yeah, she's had 2 really, really major hits, but like, and I said this on my Facebook the other day, and I got some backlash, whatever. But for me, hip hop is about 2 things. Really, one thing. It's about intelligence, but in 2 different ways. When hip hop fails to be something that's emotionally intelligent, like Tupac or a lot of Eminem stuff, it really fails to deliver anything profound. And then on the other side, when it fails to just be at an IQ level, sort of profound, like Lil Wayne, when you listen to Lil Wayne, there are moments where you stop and you think to yourself, how did he think of that? Where did he come up with that? That's
he told you.
That's the impressive part of it, right? Is like the intelligence required to fluently stream together these thoughts that are just like, they have double, triple, quadruple meanings to them, right? And Eminem does it too. And it's like the trickery with words. It takes a highly witty, highly intelligent person to come up with this music like this. And someone like Cardi B, she does none of that.
She talks like a 3rd grader for being 30 years old. Our Cardi B is slow. I keep telling people that the girl is slow. I give it to her for her fashions. She can dress. Whoever her stylist is, they need like raises periodically throughout the year because that's the only thing she gets right. She'll give you a look, but she can't give you a hook, and that's the problem.
Right.
It just doesn't work. And the people look at because she's got like 175 million followers on Instagram. Yes, but 175 million people aren't buying her singles either.
But the thing is, for me, it's like this is part of the problem that I have with a lot of these newer artists, right? They fail to deliver any emotion, and they fail to deliver something that's an intelligent thought. And some of them I'll give them credit for, like Lil Baby, I feel like is very emotional. He's not a really intelligent artist, right? He's just not. He doesn't do metaphors and double entendres, and it's not real intelligent music, but it's emotional. It's relatable, right? It's very like Tupac was really good at that. He made songs that were like Baby Don't Cry and
that related to his background. That's what I keep saying about hip hop. And you want to know why? That's why I will listen to underground artists before I ever go waste my time to listen to the artists that have like the commercial push, and I can look at them and tell like there's nothing about your music. Like for instance, I'll give you Rod Wave. I like Rod Wave.
Yeah, he's an emotion. I feel like he makes
and I loved Green Light. Green Light was my jam. I still listen to that song today.
There's very few artists like J. Cole was one. J. Cole was an intelligent rapper, right? Where he says things. Kendrick is another one. If you really dig into the lyrics of Kendrick Lamar, it's mind-boggling what he's trying to say and how he's trying to say it and how he come up with it. There's a couple new ones out there. I think NBA YoungBoy, I would put him in that emotional category, but it's like we're losing the intelligence side of it. That's the frustrating thing. It's like we're moving all the way over into this emo side, is like emo rap, and we're not getting. There's not enough J. Cole's out there, right? And for someone like me, as a fan of hip hop, as a fan of the wit of it and the intelligence of it, I prefer guys like J. Cole and 21 Savage that are giving you intelligent, confident lyrics that you stop and you think about, and it's like, wow, that's really creative that they come up with that. It's like you
But
know.
see, I like music that is true. I don't really like these fantasy. That's why I don't give a lot of these rappers the time of day because I don't want to listen to fantasy. I want to listen to real life. One thing I could say about an artist, when they dig into their real life
Yeah.
of things that they're really dealing with or was currently dealing with before they got to a certain point.
That's the best.
Like, I'll give you one who should be signed right now because Memphis, they've been having some people coming out of Memphis here lately, right? But it's one that I can't seem to understand. And if Glorilla is smart as she thinks she is, because she's another dum-dum, if you ask me, another dum-dum that's got sucked into a 360, but okay. She did a song with her before, and I think she even put her on the album. But I think them two need to do like a EP or something. They need to be on every track. Nikki Poo needs to be signed.
Yeah,
I kid you not. The girl, now I get it. She doesn't have that socialetal look to her, like what they want, because she's not like a BBL type girl or anything like that. Her body may not be considered the best for some people.
That's harder for women,
But what I like about her though is her music is what she's really doing. Like the latest thing she had put out was called Who Really Real. That's my joint too. And I had comments on there like, can you please put this one on Apple playlist? Because I'm tired of having to go to YouTube to be able to listen to it. And it was up there in 2 days. I was like, thank God it saved my playlist. But I like her.
There's some underground artists that I've come across too that I really enjoy and I rock their stuff. There's a guy called Skits that has a TikTok page, and he's done music with artists that we all know, but he's operated under the radar as an underground artist for a really long time, and it got so bad that he stopped rapping altogether and actually started making custom tennis shoes. And he built a following on TikTok as a custom tennis shoe artist. And people didn't even know that the guy had songs with Jelly Roll. They had no idea. And then kind of out of nowhere, he's like, oh, yeah, I've been doing this music stuff years ago. Right. And he pulls out. You don't know who Jelly Roll is?
No. Who knows Jelly Roll? Only Jelly Roll I know is a donut.
All right.
But
you'll know.
Yeah, I like you'd be surprised. There's a lot of these artists. I'm like, I don't know who that is, and because 9 times out of 10, my spirit rejects a lot of these artists. Like I don't give them 5 seconds because I'm like, if it's not relatable, I don't like to listen to it for the most part. And that's because the redundancy, like with the women, is they're always saying the same thing, and that's why I respect Nicki Minaj because it's not always the same thing, and she can do wordplay, and ain't none of these females been able to do it yet. Yeah, see, I don't know who this is. But why is he call himself Jelly Roll?
You've never heard this song.
Save me from myself.
He's a singer.
I spent so long.
He's a rapper too.
Living in hell.
He's a rapper too. He started off as a rapper.
Okay. You didn't hear of the other guy, Cap Carter? I want to do an interview with him. We need to try to see if we can get him. He's an Australian. But and he's a recovering addict himself, actually. I think we should try to see if we can get him to come on. I would love to interview him.
So hold on, I'll show you real quick this Skits guy I was telling you about.
Yeah, we need to try to get Cap Carter. I've been trying to get Nikki to, but she had chronic unit. That's the same guy.
If it don't make dollars, if it don't make sense, I'll be all up in the game. I'll be chilling on the bench, cause I can take an ounce and flip it to a stack, and I can take an escort, flip it to a leg. Yeah, it's ambitious, little homie. It's ambitious, little homie.
So it's got an old school vibe to it, but that's basically his whole delivering like that. It's a very crunk, Southern style crunk music. And this is a song he did with Jelly Roll, respectively, before Jelly Roll become an enormous superstar. But it's just like, I'll rock this Big Skits guy before I will 90% of the guys that are out there, because he just makes better music than them. I can't hear you. There you go.
Because you muted me. Oh, I was saying, so does Keith Wallace, and that's why I always will listen to whatever he puts out. Like that last, well, he's put out other stuff then, but I even just recently posted something he had did on it was a radio interview or something. But anyway, like I appreciate him because he doesn't need to do, and he still proved that still to this day. I don't need to do
I like
cursing and pretend to be, and I respect that he still don't want to be signed. But the crazy thing about it is all the artists are starting to follow him. They want to work with him. They
Not
want to do all
everybody
this
can
stuff.
do that. Not
Yeah,
everybody can do
and I respect him for it because he's like, to me, one of he's the type of rapper that will never
true
get a record.
independence. True
Well,
independent.
he'll never get a record deal staying the same. Like he would have to go to what they're doing right now. That's one of the reasons you don't get, like, for instance, J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar is enough for the industry as far as with hip hop. They don't want anyone else that's going to come in
push
and
the
get you
boundaries.
to think. No, that's going to get you to think. Because it is control. You got to think these labels are controlling every aspect of your livelihood. As soon as you sign your name, they control everything you do. And you're not allowed to do what you want to do all the time. You're going to do what they tell you to do because you're under a contract. And so if you don't do it, guess what happens? They'll shelf you and no one will be able to find you.
Personally, I just think it goes to what sells.
No, because that type of music,
Like,
even when he's proven people will buy it.
T.I., I seen a talk that T.I. had about this, where he said, I want to make a whole album that is social, about social progress, about delivering social progress and be a difference maker. He said, though, that I have no choice but to do this type of music separate from my main gig, because when you do this kind of music, it doesn't sell as good as Baby You Can Have Whatever It Likes. Right? It just doesn't sell as good.
Because, well, one, it's oversaturated with a bunch of garbage, right? So you have more of that than anything else. And then two, it could change, but it requires the listeners. The listeners have to be the one to shift the narrative. Because, like I said, you can be the popular saying the BS all day. But again, I go back to Cardi B. Explain to me what really has been your biggest movement besides Bodak Yellow.
Right.
You say you're all this and that, but the numbers do not lie. That's the thing. You cannot go inflate numbers. Bots can't make sales. They just can't.
I just wonder when social commentary become unpopular. Like that was part of Tupac's whole vibe was social commentary, and that's what made him such a amazing artist. And it's a shame, in my opinion, that artists like T.I., as great as T.I., and I love T.I., I'll buy his album. I wish we could go back to CDs, honestly, because like I don't buy nobody's album anymore. And I used to collect the heck out of people's albums. And I just feel like an album, I don't like this single culture, like put out a single, because it doesn't allow an artist to fully dive into what is a complete piece of work. Like when Tupac put out an album, it was a piece of art. The entire album represented something so much more prolific than just a single. And I just wish, guys like T.I. felt like they could be social advocates in their music and that more people would be receptive to it. But I can kind of understand, like, when you're 18, 19 years old and you're growing up in an urban environment, which I did at least half of my life, right? You're not really interested in hearing about social change. You're just not. Like, you want to hear the sex, drugs, and rock and roll, right?
But that's because that's the narrative that the industry pushes, is that. So that is why it's consuming. You become what you consume. We know that. So when you're listening to a bunch of verbiage 24/7, you kind of have a hard time thinking about stuff that's important when someone comes with that type of music, but that's because that's what they want. This is why you've seen a change in artistry since the 90s, right? Even the early 2000s. Now it's get all the dumb people and make them artists
you're right.
because
Like
you're never going to do
Roxanne
anything right.
the
And so
90s
that's
music was
why it happens. They're never going to push a positive narrative because if you get a bunch of positive narratives running in with music, and that's the number one thing people move toward is music, they can no longer destroy a whole bunch of people. Again, it's about keeping people stagnant in the mind. If you're stagnant in the mind, it doesn't matter how tall you grow, you'll never go far. So that's why they do that. That's why even with the female rappers, the redundancy and it's so annoying. And people actually think it's great music because you become brainwashed to think it's good. It's not. It's trash. There was nothing good about WAP. There was nothing spectacularly said. If you ask me, Megan carried Cardi B on her own damn song, to be honest. She did. And then it was, first of all, it was a recycled beat. It wasn't even something that her team made. It was recycled. That's an old beat from Lil Jon.
Yeah.
Okay. Then
I could tell as soon as I heard the beat. I'm like,
the original song is "There's Some Hoes in This House."
Yeah.
It was on his what album was that? It was one of his earlier albums.
It doesn't surprise me because as soon as I heard it, I'm like, this feels like 2008. It doesn't feel like 2021 or 22.
And then another problem they're having that I feel like the industry is going to hit a brick wall is because a lot of people are getting tired of the damn samples from these people. We're tired of hearing
definitely. Yeah.
You need to like seriously, there's too many people out here who know how to make beats that do a damn good job. But the problem is you guys don't want to find them or you don't want to give them credit. So you'd rather go spend money to be able to use a sample and then you totally ruin the sample.
Well, not only that, there's a lack of true musicianal talent, right? When you go back and you look at Little John, you look at Scott Storch, even Dr. Dre, you're looking at guys that learned how to play the piano, right? They learned music theory. They learned how to play the piano. They learned how to create their own rhythms and riffs and so the work of art was original. And now you have just about every major producer out there. It's like they're being lazy. It's like, why would I go and learn how to play the piano when I can go find some Japanese song from the 1970s and add a couple effects to it to make it more modern and then put some 808s and some hi-hats behind it and boom, I got a hit, right? And that's what they're all doing. And it really, if we're being honest here, it kind of started with Kanye. Like Kanye was the first producer that really showed the power of sampling, but it's gotten out of control and we've lost the Scott Storch.
I wouldn't say it started with Kanye because they've been sampling stuff even from the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, that's true.
There's always been samples. Maxwell was probably, to me, the number one person that actually took a sample, even took the song and made it his own. And that is This Woman's Work. And to me, hands down, he's still the number one person that was able to take someone's song, make it his own, and it sounded way freaking better.
Well, back to the Japanese 70s sample, like Russ is, in my opinion, the best independent artist out, especially in hip hop. Like as far as numbers and success and ability to consistently put out music that people enjoy, it's hard to get better than Russ. But even he, in his process, has a built-in sampling thing that he does, and it's like that's what he does. And like you listen to Eminem's productions, and I would say out of an Eminem album that has 15 songs on it, there's usually 3 or 4 samples. The rest of it is some original production. And that's what I'm saying we're getting away from. It's like we're getting away from the original producer. Like, we're going to make it from the ground up. Like, you know, when I was a kid, 18, 19 years old, I made beats. I never, not once, sampled anything. Everything that I ever created musically was an original piece that I made, and I didn't even know how really to play the piano. I just learned how to use the keyboard as the piano, but I still made a piece of work that was original, right, in what I was doing. But interesting stuff.
Yeah.
We should talk about music more. I'm probably going to upload this on Spotify.
All right. What about the other?
Huh?
Oh, okay, because the audio, I forgot.
Yeah, the ones that have bad audio, I'm just not going to put them up. But now that I think we have our bug figured out going forward,
yeah.
I don't need the local recordings anyways. Just to be like it record, like when we end this broadcast,
I don't use them either.
I'll be able to download directly from StreamYard as soon as we end this. Because they record it, it's just not locally. Right. So there's something with, and maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe if I do try the local, we should do one more test. That test is a local recording on my side only. I bet you what's causing it is trying to pull a local recording out of your computer. Bet you. That makes sense.
We'll try it out Sunday or whatnot.
All right.
Beforehand, or we'll try to do it Saturday night.
All right. Sounds good. Have a good night. Thanks for watching. Peace.